Back at it again with a brand new video for TDS, and this time we're going to be going over and into deep discussion and summarizing the fully released game mode PvP in TDS. As you guys know, this game mode released approximately 1 week ago and has been very controversial and gotten a lot of negativity, which I completely understand, and I'm going to go ahead and summarize it for you lads who don't really know why. So this game mode is very different to the general aspect of TDS, where it's pretty much a PvE type of genre game where you and your teammates fend off against an endless wave of zombies and you get stronger towers, stronger enemies, blah blah blah. In PvE, on the other hand, it's pretty much kind of the same, however with the twist. You are essentially fighting your opponent who has to defend their side of the base while you defend your side of the base, which both parts of the map are very identical and pretty much mirrored, so that makes it completely fair. Both of y'all's objectives are exactly the same. Fend off the undead for as long as possible until one or the other players falls and will announce the other player who held out the longest claim as the winner. However, if it was simply just like this wouldn't be that amazing and or interesting. So that's why the devs decided to add in a little bit of a twist, and that is basically being able to spawn enemies to send over to your opponent's base for killing regular enemies' cash. This makes it to where it's a little bit more of an intense fight since you're constantly spending on upgrades and also sending enemies to your opponent's bases, and while you spend on enemies to send over to your opponent's base, you actually increase the amount of money for your 8-second hourly paycheck thing, which of course is pretty much the strat everyone's been doing. And quite honestly, this is a pretty fun game mode until the very end, where it gets super intense and you have to fight the giant champion Templar, who is a pain in the ass, but eventually one or the other will fall and claim the other as victor. And that was pretty much it until TDS added in the ranked addition to this game mode. In this ranked edition, you and your enemy player essentially have the exact same goals and exact same things or whatever. However, with one difference. Whoever wins in the end will claim some trophy crowns, to which these trophy crowns can help them progress in the PvP ranked season pass thing, which is completely free, amazingly, and they can earn some completely free and legit rewards in here. And the final rank to unlock anything or to unlock everything is 3,000 trophies for general whatever it is, and you unlock a pretty nice accelerator skin with some other things as well, which of course means it's going to be an insane grind. How much of a grind will this be, you might ask? Well, every single game you win in the ranked PvP game mode, you unlock 14 to 25 trophies. And every single one of these games goes longer than 20 minutes. That is bonkers. Why do you get so little trophies for literally playing 20-minute long games? That's crazy. Now obviously you want to like beat your opponent as fast as possible so you can get to the next game mode, but when they have the exact same like loadout type as you and also skill level and are doing the exact same things as you, this is probably never gonna happen unless your teammate just bails at the beginning of the game so you can get a free win. But there also is one positive, or another positive, for this game mode, and that is the Sudden Death original soundtrack. It is quite honestly a banger. With all of these aspects, you can understand why this PvP game mode is quite honestly pretty infuriating. Long as hell games, very low amount of crowns, and of course if you lose crown or if you lose the game, you get nothing but lose crowns, and it is generally just a pain in the ass, especially when the entire game mode is literally just spamming enemies. That literally gets very boring and just becomes incredibly a grueling process in the end. I do have some suggested changes to make this game mode much more appealing and just downright fun, especially for the ranked game mode, so let's get into that real quick. The first change I would highly suggest is relaxing on the amount of enemies you can send over to your opponent's base and vice versa for him to send over to your base. The fact that you can send over 10 enemies instantly at the start of the game is crazy. I would literally cut that in half to around 5 enemies at the beginning of the game, and as the game goes on, every like 5 waves, you can send over plus 1 more enemy until eventually at the final game or final part of the game, you can send over 10 enemies to make it more intense, and that way it's not a big deal. And then finally, the biggest change I would highly suggest is changing the crown system. In my opinion, what they have to fix is the trophy crown system. For some reason, you get so little crowns, especially for a very long game, And I would change that to, depending on the duration of the game, will affect how many trophy crowns you get. If you lose, or if the game ends around, let's say, wave 1 to 15, you get like 14 crowns because it was a fast game. But if the game goes longer than 20 to 30 waves, you will get 20 to 25 crowns. And if the game goes literally longer than 30 and just goes on and on and on, never changes around, this will increase to probably around, let's say, 35 trophies, because technically the game went on for so long that it made it worth it in the end, kind of. And the second thing I would change, or at least like the fourth thing I would change, is the enemy who lost will actually get trophies as well. I really like this system what Apex Legends does in the ranked system, where you will automatically lose points at the beginning of the game. However, you actually need to put yourself out there and really try to actually kill enemies, deal damage, to raise up the points until eventually you surpass the points that you lost and actually start to gain points. No matter if you lose or win, you will still gain a lot of points, because the entire purpose of this rank thing is depending how you did the entire game. And this would work really well in TDS, especially when the two players who are fighting each other are in the exact same similar level. It's just that one of them in the end wins and gains trophies. It's just kind of stupid. Change this to where no matter if you lose or win, in the end, depending how long the game went on, you will get trophies in the end. Not as many as the player who won, but definitely a nice amount, like, I don't know, 17 to 20 or something like that. Well, the person who won from a very long game will get like 35 or like 28 or something like that. That way it's a much more pleasant and kind of fun experience, because in the end, no matter who wins, everyone will get crowns in the end, and it'll actually make progressing through this entire season pass a lot more fun and downright fair. And that's all that I have to say for this game mode. It is very controversial, and currently I don't really like how it is, especially the very low amount of players playing this game mode, and especially the regular TDS game in the end.